All right, welcome back to Stock Tricks with Nick for this week's trading recap from June 1st to June 4th. Had a shortened trading week this week. Monday was off because of Memorial Day, but that did not stop the profits from coming in. First week in 5 weeks, that I actually had a winning week, up $722, which is 1.75% of my account, which not huge, but breaking losing streak is great mentally and for your account, obviously. The last 4 or 5 weeks, I was just taking paper cut after paper cut, keeping my losses small, smaller position sizes, but just bleeding the account a little bit. And this week we got that turned around, got a lot of breakouts, moving stops to entry, taking risk out, building up exposure, all those good things. You can see these are the completed trades, notable winners, notable losers. Nothing was really notable. Just had to put it up here for the graphic, but you'll notice that a lot of my large winners aren't here right now because I'm still trying to let them run, while all the losers I do try and cut as quickly as possible. DQ 5% was my largest loss this week. If you are new to the channel, my name is Nick. I do these trading recaps on Saturday, put a breakout watch list on Sunday morning, and then do a live stream during the week, usually Tuesday. Shortened trading week this week, we did it Wednesday. But along with that, if you're interested in trading and what I talk about today seems too complex, I'm also putting together a Trading 101 series where I teach 3 of my friends who have never traded before how to trade, all the basics, so that'll be a great series to check out. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and you guys can follow me on StockTwits, Twitter, TikTok, and even Facebook and Instagram now. So just started up the Instagram and Facebook pages 2 days ago, so go check those out. If you're coming here for a specific stock, in the comment section will be the breakdown of the timestamps. All right, today we're going to be going over a market recap. How did the indexes do? A quick look at the Tik Tok Trading Challenge. We had week 22 this week. Review of our 2 watch lists, that breakout watch list I post on Sunday morning, and then the midweek movers live stream watch list that I put together midweek. This week it was Wednesday. I'm also going to show my entire portfolio to you guys. That's one thing with this channel. Open, full transparency, always open. And then we're going to break down some past trades, winners and losers. It's very important to always look at your losing trades so you don't make similar mistakes in the future. Quick disclaimer, anything that I talk about is not financial advice, not stock advice. This is all for educational purposes only, really serving as a trading journal for myself. Hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes and learn from what I'm doing well. Please do your own due diligence before trading. Trading comes with financial risk. All right, quick market recap. So S&P 500 reached all-time highs today, up 0.61% on the week. QQQ, really quality breakout setup. If it wasn't an index, I probably would have taken that trade. We'll go over that. And the IWO, I switched this out for the FFTY. This is an ETF that looks at growth stocks. It did get rejected at the 50-day simple moving average, but pulled down a little bit. We'll take a look at that. For the most part, breakouts are back. They're working, and that's exactly what we want. All right, let's jump to the chart here. We have the S&P 500, was in a very strong uptrend in April, had some issues in May, and bounced back in June, pulled back, and then had a really good day, up about 1% today, right at all-time highs. Now you have a little cup and handle there, very quick, but that's a quality setup. That's something that I would look for continuation, but we need to get some heavier volume green days here. Next we have QQQ. This is the NASDAQ, zooming out here. This is what really took a beating in March, and May had another sell-off. This looked like it was just going to roll over. Since then, it did bounce back up, pulled back, and right through here, that's a pivot entry point on any other stock or on any stock, and it looks like we're going to break through there and get going for a new uptrend. Dow Jones, right at all-time highs. This doesn't usually correlate with the stocks that I trade, so I don't usually look at this too often. And then IWO, that's the growth ETF right here. Let's zoom out. This is what was basically the stocks that I've been trading the past 2-3 years, whatever. But since February, we saw that sell-off, quick bounces, a lot of paper cuts on the way down, but seemed to get going. We got some leadership stocks taking off, and we bounced to the 50-day moving average, this red line. We pulled down, and it's not flushing right now, but it's just in the middle part of this volume shelf. So hopefully this can firm up and we could take off and move to towards all-time highs here. All right, let's jump back to the PowerPoint. Quick look at the Tik Tok Trading Challenge. This was week 22. So every week from that breakout watch list that I put out on Sunday morning, I let you guys vote on Twitter, on my Twitter account, StockTrickNick, how we will allocate the money in our Tik Tok trading account. Every week I move the money that I make on TikTok into a trading account, let you guys allocate it with your votes. This week, not partly my fault of the breakout watch list. I didn't pick the 4 strongest stocks, but the most voting went to HTZGQ, which is Hertz. That was down 2.3%. GDEN up 5.3%. CALX, which I actually traded, up 1.8%, and AMRK down 6.6%. So far with this account, this account was down 0.5% this week, down 31% this year, while my weekly return was 1.75% up and up 4.76% on the year. But let's take a look at why these stocks were on the breakout watch list. HTZGQ. So this had to do with AMC and GameStop, those short squeezes that could take off. So this moved up 800% or whatever since April. Obviously, anyone who's been trading could see that flag right through that area. This was Friday, last Friday. So I was saying if we could get going, break over this 2-day pivot right through here, we could see buyers step in and shoot this higher. Unfortunately, it did shoot higher, but then it reversed, and now we're just kind of making this flag even a little bit longer here. So might be one I put on the watch list again, but it's not going to be a company that's around too much longer. So we don't want to have too much exposure to that. GDEN next. This is one that I had been tracking for a while, similar kind of flag through here, and then we were looking for a break over, oh, I'm sorry, let me take that away. So Thursday, Friday, basically same price. This was one that did kind of pull back through here, flagged out, and then got going on heavier volume right through here. And this is one that just continued higher. So if you're outside of this trade, gotta wait for it to pull back, tighten up, and get going again. Otherwise, if you're in it already, not doing anything wrong, no need to take the trade off. CALX, this is one that I got in myself on, let's see, what day is this? Right through here. It did bounce inside day on Friday with lower volume. That's what set up the trade. So we were buying with a break over Thursday's high, which is 45.75. That's exactly what I did on Tuesday. Got out on heavy volume after kind of opening, pulling back, and then shooting higher. That was my entry. Since then, we have pulled back a little bit. It's down after hours, so that's kind of messing with this Friday graph, but up 1.74% today. And that is part of my portfolio right now. And then finally, AMRK. This had a nice 48-50% breakout on heavy volume. Things got nice and quiet volume-wise as we pulled back to the 8-day exponential moving average. Kind of flattened out here. That was going to be the entry. We opened right there on Monday, but since then just kind of sold off to the 20-day moving average. And now this gets really dangerous because they could save it at the 20, but if it flushes under that, there's no support back down, and that would be a 20% drop down to the previous breakout point. Not really something that we want to be holding on to. So that's the Tik Tok Trading Challenge. Make sure on Sunday you go vote on your favorite setup after watching the breakout watch list. Speaking of the watch list, these are the stocks that I should have put on there. These are from the 16 stocks that we went over in this week's video. 24% OII, DDS 21%, BNTX 14.4%. That's all great. I personally traded BNTX and CYH 14.4, 12.8. We had a win rate of 75%. That's great. 12 winners, 4 losers, and an average gain or loss plus 5.7% this week. That's awesome, especially compared to the market, only up at about 0.5%. Let's break down a couple of these stocks. All right, we have DDS. I'm kicking myself because this is one that I had been just watching. You could see how, that just set up perfectly. 61% breakout. Let me move this. Pulled back to the 8-day exponential moving average. Got extremely quiet through here. You have a couple daily highs if you wanted to get even lower with your entry point. Either way, Tuesday, short trading, Tuesday was the breakout point. That would have been the buy. And then on Wednesday, we got that huge breakout candle, up 20%, closed near the high of the day. Continuation on Wednesday, even higher, but then reversed and looked like it was going to start checking back. And then inside candle on Friday today as this is consolidating. So this was exactly what you want to see. You want to see a breakout on heavy volume, check back to the 8-day, 20-day with very light volume. You want it to get nice and quiet. You can see the average true range, ATR, measures volatility. That was getting nice and quiet. And then a breakout on volume. Perfect setup. I just didn't take it myself. BNTX. This is a trade that I did take myself. Let's zoom out here. 125% up. I think this was like 33% down, but we gapped down and then recovered that day. So basically everyone was buyers on this coming up. Had the earnings, didn't do much with it, and then flagged out nicely through here. We're looking at the high 203.50 as the possible buy point. That's where I got in on the 28th, which would have been last Friday. So just kind of a break over Friday's high would have been an entry point, 208.60. And this similar out with heavy volume. The one red day we had on Thursday, very light volume, not doing anything wrong, so I kept it on. And then we got plus 8% today. I took off a portion into strength and moved my stop to my entry. No risk on that trade anymore. BNTX and CYH. This is one that was on the breakout watch list 2 weeks ago. Cup, handle, and then a low risk entry right through here. That was when I got in basically at the open on the 27th. And then I put this on the watch list again because we had an inside day on Friday with very little volume, so nice consolidation, and then said we could take it with either a diagonal break or just a break over the previous day's high or Thursday's high. Any of those entries would have been fine. Things really got cooking on Tuesday. Let's see this candle. 12% candle right there, heavy volume, sideways action on light volume, gap down, recovered on Thursday, and then continuation today. This is looking great, CYH. All right, so that was Sunday's watch list. Then quick look at the midweek movers. Not much going on here. I did buy REZI. That is up 4% since we talked about it on Wednesday night. I also had LQDT. We'll go over that in a second, but very average performance here. 53% win rate, 8 winners, 7 losers. Average gain loss, minus 0.2%. Nothing to really talk about, but let's go over REZI and LQDT. So REZI, this is a trade that I took on Friday today. One that I had been watching for a while. If you follow me on Twitter, Stock Trick Nick there. Really strong breakout through here is 225%, 218%, whatever. Kind of a double bottom right through here. And then we got things taking off and basically just bought at the open here. We shot up early in the day, pulled back during kind of the mid part of the day, and it says it's up 1.57%. So we didn't close at the high of the day. We probably closed a little bit lower here, but this is exactly what you're looking for, a really strong breakout, consolidation for, let's see, how many weeks? March 11th to June 4th, about 3 months. And now we're coming out to highs. And then LQDT, this one's so frustrating. Look at these volume bars on the way out. Really nice breakout, 62%. Didn't get in on that. Waited for the pullback to the 20-day moving average. We had this pivot set right through here. An entry over the high from the 27th would have been your entry point. That was my entry point. Then traded sideways. And then this morning, just shot up 7% from the open, up 7%. Unfortunately, I was away during the first half hour of the day today, so I could not take any profit on the way up. Didn't protect my entry point as it got out one risk multiple. And because of that, I cut half the position as it came back to down like 1% against my entry. And I still have a little bit right now, but this is a really ugly looking candle on heavy volume. I assume this is just gonna break down from here. But this is why I had it on. Lots of volume coming out. Things got nice and quiet. 20-day moving average came up for support. And it did get out here. I could have made this a winning trade if I was around the first half hour of the day today. Just wasn't, and that's frustrating. But what are you gonna do? Here are my current portfolio. I am 70.8% invested now, which is the most I've been since February. Moving a lot of my stops up to entry as stocks are working for me. The last column here, it just says five more very small positions as I take profit and bleed some stops off. But yeah, here's my open portfolio, always transparent with you guys. Right now, 19 open positions, too many, but when you're slowly adding exposure, when the market's just starting to turn around, you're going to have too many positions, and then each trade you make from there, then you can consolidate with larger position sizes because you have some profit to take that risk. And right now, I'm kind of building up into that middle part of the portfolio. So 7 positions between 5 and 10% of my portfolio, 4 between 3 and 5, and 8 under 3%. But let's take a look at HIMX, SE, and FUTU. All right, we have HIMX. I took this trade today. This was on Wednesday's breakout watch list, or Wednesday's midweek movers live stream, right through here. This was a 2020 winner that I traded this breakout, added, and then just ran it up, sold into strength. I missed this last day here, maybe even the other day, but still a great trade there. Since then, based out, and then undercut and flush. I love that move where, like, we have, let me redraw that was terrible. We have higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. It looks like this is gonna start to build the right side of the base, and then we undercut that. We scare everyone out of the trade, and then we move out from there. Quick little pullback yesterday, setting up the trade really well with Tuesday's high, 1335. That is my entry point. And from there, it hasn't moved too much today. Closed at 1340, but good volume on the last couple up days, and we're above the 50, above the 8, 20, 200, and above the main part of the volume shelf here. So definitely one to take a look at. I might put it on the watch list for Sunday, but one that I already have. Next we have SE. Similar kind of looking chart, kind of a double bottom here. Got out heavy volume after earnings, and then got nice and quiet, very little volume as it traded sideways here. I took the trade when we broke out over that point, and undercut the lows, broke out, heavy volume, all looking good. And then since then, we just got sideways action. I'm probably down just a touch on this right now, but hasn't hit my stop, looking good, and definitely one that I'm gonna look out for with a break over Tuesday's high, 262.89. That could be a possible buy point. And last of my current holdings, FUTU. This is one that really got going today, and one that I totally missed this move, which, man, let's measure that. That was super strong, 430%. Kicking myself for missing that at the beginning of 2021. Since then, we really pulled back. I think there's like 50% pullback or so. Yeah, 50 on the dot, double bottom, and then good volume coming out here. We checked back to the 8-day exponential moving average on lower volume, and then took out Tuesday's high. That was my buy point, 151.98. And you can see I'm up maybe 1%, 2% on the trade, but nothing crazy. I would have liked to see this like really pop and get over the volume shelf, because right now we're just stuck in the middle. We could see a check back to the 50-day moving average, and that might stop me out before getting going again. But so far, so good. All right, those were the current portfolio, and here are the completed trades. As you can see, all of these very condensed, either quick losses being taken. 5% was my max loss with DQ that we'll cover in a second, and max gain was BGFV, only 3%, and we'll go over that. This week I am always quick at cutting losses, but I was also quick at moving my stops up to my entry, because until this week I was on a 3-week losing streak. So wanted to 3 weeks, 6 weeks, I forget, I need to check, but really long losing streak, and I wanted to turn that around. So quick with the stop losses being moved up, and because of that got shaken out of some trades. But let's take a look at a couple of these stocks. If you guys are enjoying the video, please leave a like and share with your friends. All right, BGFV, this was a high tight flag, which is, let's see, so moved 134% in 8 weeks or less, and then high tight flags pull back within 25% of the highs. This pulled back 25% on the dot. This kind of based out, maybe you could have gotten a lower entry through here, drawing like a downward diagonal. I don't love doing that unless there's also a flat top entry point that I could get to. But this got out, pulled back, and then set things up for, that would have been Wednesday. So Wednesday, when AMC was going berserk, when GameStop was going berserk, I wanted a name that had a high short interest. This had a high short interest, and it was a high tight flag. So kind of best of both worlds. Got in with a break over the previous day's high, 33.27. Sold some into strength. The first 2 days, moved my stop to even on the rest, and that I got stopped out today when, man, this morning it just flushed down. It was down 17% from the opening price of the day. And with that and the heavy volume on the selling, that's not something that I want to be a part of. So I'm glad I got that stopped even. Wish this could have kept running, because at least at one point we were up 14% on the trade. That would have been awesome if it kept going, but I'm quick to move my stops to even, take the risk out of the trade, and because of that, I was able to pocket some money on the trade and not take a loss on what would have been a winning trade. UAVS is next. This was another heavy shorted stock that I started to look at on Wednesday from the live stream, one that I traded in 2020 as well, so kind of getting back to that. Had a good volume coming out to the 200-day moving average, then sideways action. And then I bought on Thursday when we broke over the previous day's high, 1534. It immediately shot up all the way to 534, shot up to 575. I took off 15% of the position or so into profit there, moved half my stop loss to even and half my stop loss at 5%. And then you can see on this candle, we reversed, came down, hit my entry point, half the position was taken off there, pulled down another 5%, got stopped out of the remaining position. So I was down, where is it? I was down 1.76% on the trade. Could have taken a full 5% stop if I would have just let it go and not taken some profit, not protect my entry. But I was trying to trade very much risk adverse at this point. And I mean, at this point, down $44 on the trade, but got a good look at high shorted stock, and I'll do that again. UAVS. Next we have PLBY. This is one that I'm kicking myself on. big winner in 2021, up 350%, pulled back, kind of based out here. And then I took this trade actually off the low here when we undercut and then regained the low of the previous day. This is one where it moved up 6%. So I moved half my stop to my entry, half my stop at 5%. The next day, it flushed quickly to, you can see, it just took out my stop loss on half my position. And then from that point, it ran 14%. Took some into profit there. And then today, and then I moved my stop. I must have moved my stop a little bit below my entry. On the first part, then that took a loss. And then today we pulled down, hit my stop by 2 cents, 3 cents before it ran 2.7% today. So this is one where I was a little too jittery with my stops and lost out on what would have been profit here. But you could say because of this, I also protected some gains on Big 5 and protected against some larger losses on UAVS. But this is one definitely going to be taking a look at going into next week. Nice downward diagonal. Things are kind of coming out of the right side of the base now. PLBY. And last, this is DQ. This is one that I saw on Twitter kind of after the fact. We had a 53% pullback, a 30% pullback, 16% pullback, and then like a 7%. So that VCP that Mark Minervini talks about, except this is a little bit too heavy for his strategy. Nice and tight through here, and we got out on heavy volume and then just reversed and closed a little bit below my entry point because I didn't get filled exactly right there. And then the next day we undercut that, took me out for a 5.3% loss, a full stop. And then since then, kind of traded sideways, and this might be another one that I take a look at later. But I don't want to be involved in a stock that immediately starts working against me after it showed breakout potential. That's showing me that there's hidden sellers in here. After a 53% move down, that could be something you got to be cautious about. Maybe take profits a little bit quicker. But this does have a lot of power. It was a quality setup. I just got to it a little bit late. All right, that's going to be the trading recap of the week. Finally broke that losing streak, up $722, 1.75%, and 70% invested now going into next week. Feels good, feels different. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on StockTwits, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all those good things. I'm Stock Tricks with Nick on those 4: StockTwits, TikTok, Facebook and Instagram, and Stock Trick Nick on Twitter. See you guys tomorrow for a breakout watch list Sunday morning. Take care.